Happy New Year, everyone!
Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
It's 2025 and still no flying cars.
We've survived another year.
Yeah, well, but we're burning Teslas. And doesn't that count for something?
That counts for a lot, honestly.
It's the small victories.
It's a small
I'm
thing.
all
They were
for
just
it.
starting themselves on fire before.
Indeed. Indeed
Yeah,
they were.
so another year, another podcast. This is the 30th episode of this podcast we've done.
Holy
Holy
crap.
crap. Nice job.
Yeah. That's one thing where, like, I didn't know if we wanted to go over New Year's resolutions, what we had, but one of my New Year's resolutions was last year was to get this podcast to bi-weekly, and it got to weekly within, like, 3 months.
Yep.
Because news
They
wouldn't
have-
stop happening.
No, it just wouldn't,
never
which I greatly
stops.
appreciate. And we only missed, like, 5 weeks because we physically couldn't do it. So,
Yeah.
we did really,
Not
really
bad.
good, which I have all of you guys to thank for that as well. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's
The
get
big
started
3-0.
with our weeks. Bree, go ahead.
Boy, I've had a interesting week. Like, I'm not going to go into full details because that would just be like a whole diatribe. But Christmas and Hanukkah has been good to me. Saw Nosferatu. Relatives decided to give me like a lot of money and gifts for reasons I don't completely understand. And you know what? I don't have to.
What's up, Umbreon?
Oh, it's an Umbreon, first of the year. And
Of
then had probably a little too much to drink last night. But other than that,
As you should.
2025, I'm just kind of, because we're talking about like resolutions or anything. My resolution is, okay, things are going in a good direction. I should keep doing those things.
Mhm.
Because that's a more obtainable goal.
Exactly. No, I hear you on that. Mike,
Same here.
go ahead.
So yeah, my Christmas was pretty good. For dinner, we made beef Wellington for the first time.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then
Did you have Gordon Ramsay yelling at you at the same time as you were making, could you make the beef Wellington?
not this time.
Okay.
This
That's
time.
good. That's good.
So
Not this time. Maybe next time.
of the many gifts that I got, one of my favorite was a card game that we may or may not play tonight. There's 2 packs. There's misunderstood songs
Mhm.
where it's lyrics that are commonly
Oh, shit.
misheard, or poorly explained movies.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like that.
One of my favorites on this box is a goose suddenly dies and it makes everyone really depressed. The answer is Top Gun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. I totally,
That's hilarious.
Wow.
That's
And then, yeah,
Yikes.
damn it.
And then
That's really funny.
of course, as one does, took my family to see Nosferatu the day after Christmas. And I'll be going again
As one does.
on Saturday in Dolby
Ooh.
because of course.
Nice. I've might be going to go see it Friday. My roommate and his brother want to see it really badly. Kiona.
It looks really good. So yeah, my resolution for this year, I'll just start off with that, is to definitely to do more things, to keep busier, and to not allow myself to get so down on myself this year.
It's one of the
With
best
the negative
ways to get
self-talk.
out of a negative mind state is to keep your brain
Exactly,
busy.
exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing more of the arcade podcast. We're gonna be doing more of the
Yeah.
meltdown. We're gonna be doing more of the Twitch streaming and just being like more active and more consistent. That is
Also-
definitely the main thing. Also, hey Paul,
What's up?
Hey, Paul.
good to have
How's it
you
going,
here, man.
Paul?
I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So definitely gonna be way more consistent on that level. Yesterday was a good start for that, actually, because I actually recorded an episode of the Meltdown podcast with my friend
Nice.
Rogue. So if you guys want to check that out, please do so. That is a very naughty episode, and I loved it.
Boy.
And I want that in my podcast. I want all the dirty.
Okay, Mr.
So you know,
Campaign.
yeah. So as you can tell, it makes me very happy. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was a good start. Starting off the new year in the right way. So
excellent. Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
So I'll go next. We're all doing pretty well as far as I can tell. So I've heard Neo got it at the show. Jeez.
No.
Yikes.
No.
Yikes. All right. So
that's our
let's
thing,
see.
Paul. We don't talk about that in public. Anyway.
So
I
got a couple New Year's resolutions. I would like to. First one I said, I do not have a single anime cosplay, and I have one or two that I'm thinking between, and I want to finish one or get one mostly done this year. So when I go to anime conventions, I'm not always a video game character, although it's not that big of a thing. People cosplay what they want at these conventions. The last anime convention, someone cosplayed as Markiplier, for Christ's sake. So you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, and it was really good too.
That's hilarious.
It was awesome. It was great. Eli, how's it going? That was one other thing that I'm talking about. I actually started another podcast with the very first friend that I ever made at a convention. The guy who helped me get through my very first line when I met Kevin Conroy. He walked me through the whole thing and got the autographs with Kevin with me. He's an excellent dude. That is the Geeking Out podcast. They'll come out every Wednesday, I think. But did the Markiplier cosplayer do the what the fuck quote? No, but he had the pink mustache, and then he would take the mustache off, and he looked like Markiplier underneath the mustache.
Oh my god,
it was crazy.
Jeez.
But keep up a good streaming schedule. Do more. We're gonna try that again in English. Collaborative streams. Kyo and I need to get with you on that.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Yes, absolutely.
I want to get more writing progress done, and I want to chop more shows and games off of my backlog list, which I started playing Scarlet Nexus last week, which has been on my list forever.
Oh, that's so good.
I like it a lot.
It's so good.
I like
it's
it a lot.
so good. I've only played like maybe a little bit of it, and then I got distracted as the ADHD hits. But
it's
like
one of the most Japanese games I've ever played.
Oh, it's so good, man. I love it. Yeah, Scarlet Nexus, definitely cool.
We talked a little bit about Christmas presents. My family understood the assignment really well. And so no problem, man. Oh, dude. Crying was very I'm shocked I didn't lose weight for how much I cried when I met Kevin. But all right, so first up.
Nice.
Family, thank you very much. Those who have not watched this, it's a very anime-ass anime, but I highly suggest it. Guilty Crown is fantastic. Guilty Crown is very good. Nice, I will tell you, I lost my shit when I opened this. Lost my shit. And I don't know if my family understood fully why when I said this was a possibility of something I would get and that they actually got it for me. And those who know.
Nice. We still need to do a 0 stars for that.
No, wait.
That's awesome.
Wait, it actually
that is awesome.
Yeah. A steelbook.
I can't believe that. Does it have the dub?
It's got the English dub on it.
The dub.
Yeah. I lost my shit when I got this.
You know, the funny thing is, I literally just thought about ghost stories either earlier today or yesterday. So it's like you just sent a vibe out into the universe.
It's one of those things where I've never done a watch along on something, but that would be one because anyone, you can't, those who don't know, Eli, you're watching this, you probably don't know this, but so this anime bombed so bad in Japan that they did not care when they sent it over to ADV to just do whatever you want. And when I tell you that is the most inappropriate, bordering on racist at certain points, dub that was ever officially released on anything I've ever seen, I'd be downplaying it. It's these are ghosts, son of a bitch!
It's fantastic. It is one of the funniest things. One of my favorite lines in that is that I always quote everywhere that I go on every single stream that I go to is always like, "Come on, shut up and fill that hole filler." That is one of my favorite lines.
Oh, and then there's one where I can't remember if it's a cat. I want to say it's a rabbit, but she's having these memories about this rabbit that died.
It's the rabbit, yes.
I remember his funny little sayings. Touch me. And it's saying something else like, touch me harder. And it's these like 12-year-old kids, and one of them's like 6, and like they have the little kid that's running these laps around this thing, and he's crying because he can't do it, and then he fails so hard and he just starts bawling, and this older sister goes, I pray to God you're adopted.
How does the little kid talk? How does he talk all the time? It makes me laugh. Yeah. He laughs every single time. Oh, it gets me.
They literally had no rules. All they said is they had to keep the plot lines of the episodes in them, but they got to do whatever they wanted. And they ripped the shit out of Vic Mignogna in there too. It's awesome.
And mind you, this was like 2005.
Yeah, this is way before all the
Eli, you have no idea, dude.
Everything.
Also, everyone, this Blu-ray, I went and looked it up. This costed like $18. It was cheap as fuck.
Shit.
Go buy it. It's great. So yeah, dude,
it is
Eli, if you go watch
fantastic.
it, I will go all the way through with you. It's so good.
You know the craziest
Have you
thing?
accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
You know the fucking
so
Monica
funny.
Rial in it is so good in it. And the funniest thing about it is the guy who did the score for Ghost Stories is the same guy who did this.
Crap was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
But anyway, the guy who did the score for it is the same composer of Inuyasha. So you have this swelling orchestral music to, like, you know, Bush era pop culture.
Yes.
I can't recommend it. It is the most. It's the most crash shit you're ever gonna hear. You have to remember this was 2005 when they wrote this, so there's some shit that there's no way their studio will be shut down if they attempted to release this now. Oh, it's ridiculous. But I had to get those out because when I tell you the heavens opened up and I saw an era of light pop out when I went,
I'm sure.
And it's like I gave a list. I'm like, here's some things I wouldn't mind. And then the gift from my stepdad, who's a construction steam fit welder foreman for a giant construction company, burly outdoors dude, hands me my gift, and I'm like, like what the hell? It was the best. It was the best. It still is. I don't know if that Christmas present's ever getting topped. I should say
so much of that.
Like, I did get myself something for Christmas. I saw this and I couldn't pass it up.
Oh,
it's still hard to believe that that's available.
Is that the G-Kids one?
No, this is the Netflix one, but it also has the other original dub on it.
Yeah, I'm saying didn't
G-Kids?
Cool. Yeah, didn't G-Kids?
G-Kids. Okay. G-Kids just put out.
Oh, the G-Kids release. Yes, I get what you're saying. Yes, those are always the best. You get a fit. Yeah. Oh. Eli, trust me, dude, if you and me do an episode on that, you're going to lose your shit. All right, let's get into the actual topics. We're going to go through
my favorite thing too, by the way, Brock, is like the guys that I saw the one time who did like a drunk, like they did like a drinking game for Ghost Stories every time they heard something crass. And
did
they
die
were
in
like,
the first episode?
I know, right? They were like, oh my God, we can't do this. We cannot continue.
Oh, I did forget just one thing. I did get a game, Zelda Wisdom Awakening. I surprisingly love it, but the one thing, not the main game that almost made me rage quit yesterday, it was the stupid, like, sleep trading thing. And I got it, but, like, yeah, it's like a sleep, like, dojo, like, mini game, but I was, like, on the final one to get, like, the stupid, like, katana or whatever. I still haven't gotten it, by the way, but I was... So you have to get it like in 1 minute and 5 seconds with the restrictions. I got it in 1:06 and I was so mad, and then I didn't get close again.
Oh, that sucks. All right, let's get into these topics. Fresh off the presses, Mike, buy or sell that the most obvious casting choice in history just happened. Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in Supergirl.
I don't know how you can not buy that, because he was literally born to play that role.
Yeah. Dude, does anyone remember the Twitter thing where he just posted on his thing? He's just walking out of WB. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, James.
Yep.
Yes.
He can't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I was like, someone goes trading. I saw some post on Twitter. That was, can you imagine trading this $1 billion thing for playing Lobo? I'm like, did you notice how much the second one sold for? It only has $1 billion because the first one did. Kiona, buy or sell?
Oh, massive buy. Yes. I mean, God, this is like perfect. This is the perfect casting right here. This is on the level of Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. This is absolutely the best. Yeah. Yeah.
Brie.
Mamoa as Lobo. I'm sold.
I mean, I didn't dislike Mamoa as Aquaman. I thought he was good, but he fits this role so much better.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Do you know what completely crazy full circle moment I want to happen now though? I want Alan Richson to take over as Aquaman now.
Oh yeah. That'd be
from Smallville to big screen. He's the only guy that would be bigger than Momoa at this point, size-wise.
True.
Oh,
and
true.
He would look the part. He really would.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to be scared of someone, give or take, I'd have been scared if Momoa pulled up on me. But, like, if you're getting someone else that has that same fear factor, that's that. Or because they also said that at some point he wants to play Batman. I wouldn't disagree with that either. But I just think it'd be really funny
with that
if he came full circle and he got to play Aquaman again.
Okay. I really liked Mamoa as Aquaman too. I liked his whole he brought that kind of I'm from Hawaii, so he brought that kind of local Hawaiian, Brada type of energy to it, and I like that. But it was
and the thing is too, he finally
Lobo's
made
just so much more of a fit.
Right, but not to discredit him for like Aquaman, but he actually made people take Aquaman seriously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they can't take that away, but I'm kind of curious now that, we're kind of resetting everything, how it's going to go. And I think it's a good choice.
And I think so also, too. Before we get off the topic, I have to just point out that this announcement proved that everyone, has no media literacy and also no reading comprehension.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because James Gunn openly said we're not going to have one actor playing two different roles. And then Momoa got announced as Lobo and people said he was lying. Everyone, he's not playing Aquaman anymore. So he's not lying.
Yeah, that continuity is over. The Snyderverse is dead. It is not coming back no matter how many stars you wish upon, how many Infinity Stones you collect. It's not happening.
and you want to know who wants it to come back the least right now? Zack Snyder. Crazy how he might want to do other things in his life.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one. Kiona, buy or sell that the Batman has been delayed a year and now is releasing October 1st, 2027.
That is a long ways away.
It is.
If it makes the movie better, I buy it.
He didn't say everything being connected. He pulled back on that really quick, Umbreon. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say cautious buy on that if it makes the movie better, but it sucks that we have to wait so long.
It does suck, but it's one of those things where he's openly said now that nothing gets greenlit unless it has a script finished. And then everyone went, James Gunn hates his Batman, he hopes it doesn't come out. Versus maybe they'd like a screenplay being finished.
Yeah.
And also Pattinson is like super booked.
That's what happens.
That's true.
God, I don't understand people. Mike?
So yeah, I would say cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like this isn't the only release date that Warner Brothers has shuffled around.
It's not going to be last either.
Oh no, it's definitely not going to be last. But the most recent casualties of this game of musical chairs is Mickey 17 and Sinners switching place. Now Sinners will be in April, and Mickey 17 has been moved up to March, so that's good. But moving the Batman up to 2027, I don't like that I have to wait that long, but there are like hundreds of other movies out there. Like, I don't understand why people are so obsessed with needing to know everything beyond like 6 months.
But Mike, our franchises, we have to have our franchises or we will die.
Hey, Umbreon, one thing that I guarantee you might be a part of this, they probably had a finished script, and then the Penguin did really well.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point that nobody's brought up.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if there was a little bit of truth to that.
I bet you he plays a bigger role now, and they're reshifting stuff around and the script is not done. And again, as Bree brought up, you have to have your star available to shoot the film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to think that he's really busy.
I think you could do a lot with the sequel too, because they kind of, they set it up to the point where there are definitely some threads that you could pull on, and not just the Joker, not just the obvious one, but like, there's sort of maybe a Venom thing that could happen.
You know what I'd like to happen? They keep teasing the Joker in the background and then never do anything with him. Yep. I think it would be
that would be nice
on the planet.
That'd be hilarious.
Just to have that looming threat of always, ooh!
It's kind of like how the Scarecrow was in both of the Batman Begins sequels. Yeah, but we just never get. Yeah, but we just never get Batman Begins. Yeah, it's just his bit roles.
He's just the freaking judge and jury at the very end.
I love that they used him in that role, though. I actually kind of like that they used him in that, because that was a cool, different sort of way of bringing it back. Oh my god!
About that,
I have some news for you. Oh boy!
Heisers, I love you.
Going ahead with that Clayface movie, yeah.
If they do something honestly like Joker with Clayface, and like do something creative
super
where he's
tragic Clayface.
Well, like
actually, wait, hold on.
I don't know what version of Clayface they're even doing.
I think that's why they moved the Batman off of 2026, because the Clayface movies come out in September, and it would have been a month before the Batman too.
That's not a bad idea. And honestly, people are gonna wait for a Batman movie.
Yep.
They are. People are still thinking that the Ben Affleck's Batman movie is going to happen. Anyway, moving on. And hey, that is not me saying I wouldn't want that movie to happen.
I wouldn't want that movie to happen.
Saw what that script supposedly was going to be. But
dude, we almost had a really awesome Deathstroke in that.
Yeah, we almost did.
Yeah.
All right, so.
It would have been great.
Kiona, buy or sell that Brian Tyree Henry on the Batman... wow. Try it again. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. There's not going to be a dry eye in the house. I'll tell you that. Good luck. And it's not going to wrap up in a nice little bow like things do.
Okay, I like it. I mean, I wonder how true that is, but I do like it. So yeah, I'm gonna say bye.
Do you take that as he's dying?
Maybe.
Somebody's gotta.
Somebody's gotta
be a dry eye in that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike,
I think you're right.
I buy that there's going to be a huge death scene. It's probably gonna be him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think they'd swerve you and kill Miles.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying because it's not the live action one. That'd be the only reason why, if he like heroically sacrifices himself because he's the glitch. But anyway, Bree, buy or sell?
I mean, I buy it. I mean, because this movie will just come out whenever it's ready at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to do something. But you brought up Miles.
No, people are laughing at that.
Oh my God. It's so true.
I saw someone post that, who's the guy that voices Echo?
God, I'm
Give me a
forgetting his
second.
name off the top of my head.
I know he did VO for like Cartoon Network. Like that was his like first big thing before it came.
Yeah.
Like he was the promos guy.
Yeah,
Reed Shannon.
From that.
Reed Shannon. I saw someone posters
Reed
like, if anyone sees in the next few months that Reed Shannon is at Sony recording lines, we'll know what happened.
Oh, he would. Yeah, that would actually be an awesome.
He'd be
recast
perfect.
right
He'd be
there.
absolutely perfect.
He would.
Utterly perfect.
Bree, we cut you off there. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I mean I buy it, but you were bringing up like Miles. Like it could be like other like Miles too. I mean, it's hard to say because probably the version that was originally going to happen no longer exists now. So it's all up in the air.
No way. The movie that was going to come out the next year. Everyone remember that? All right. Bree, buy or sell that the rumor is that Sadie Sink is the front runner to play Jean Grey.
I absolutely love this, and I was hoping that you call me first. I mean, she's great in Stranger Things. She looks like Jean Grey, and now she's like about the right age that she could
play for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, she could either do like older teenager or like young adult Jean Grey. Like it would work either way.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
bye.
Yeah. Mike?
I buy this, especially if like we don't even get the first X-Men anything until 2027.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while, probably.
Yeah, which is more than likely.
I wouldn't doubt if it's one of the first things in whatever their next phase is after Doomsday or whatever the
or whatever. Yeah. I definitely buy it. Yeah, for real. As soon as I saw Sadie Sink in Stranger Things, I was like, okay, she's gonna get cast as Jean. It's so obvious.
It makes sense.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And she's really great in Stranger Things. So like,
yeah.
I think she's gonna do a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
If it becomes the reality.
Once those kids are allowed to get out of that bubble of being the Stranger Things kids, they're gonna do what they're gonna be really good. Oh, I'd be okay if they waited longer too. It's just I think that's what they're gonna try and open up with to get out of the multiverse shit. They're gonna be like, we're starting with mutants from now on.
Yeah, no, they're looking for the nearest exit like as soon as possible.
All right. Mike, buy or sell that Jared Leto was playing himself, Skeletor in Amazon's in Amazon's Masters of the Universe.
Can we just stop putting Jared Leto into things? Like, what dirt does Jared Leto have on everyone?
To be fair, Skeletor of all things, if I'm going to watch someone be an annoying, sniveling little idiot, Jared Leto's a pretty good casting.
That's a pretty good casting,
I mean, when
honestly.
you put it that way, all kidding aside, it's like, Jesus, we ever since like
he's gonna actually be a skeleton.
Ever since our podcast began, we literally cannot escape Jared Leto.
We can't.
I know we can't.
No, it's an ongoing thing. It's him and it was Asmongold for a while, but Jared. Oh man, I'll say that is long. If I get to hear Jared Leto do a hey man level of stupid performance, I'll buy the shit out of it. But I don't need some Shakespearean, no, you, He-Man, shall not...
Oh, God, no.
If I see him walking around as method acting in the frickin' and, like, hood on and nothing else, with purple skin makeup on, Kiona, buy or sell.
Honestly, I'm more excited for Alison Brie as Evil Lynn, but okay, I guess if somebody has to play Skeletor.
I guess.
Oh, God
damn
it.
Fine.
It does need to help dead cringers to my If they want to make you hate someone, I'd much rather have him as Skeletor than as in freaking whatever he's doing in Legacy. No, not like is it Legacy?
Tron Ares.
Ares, that's what it is.
Tron
Legacy was the last one.
Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for 9 Inch Nails, like I would completely be out of it.
Same.
Absolutely. All right.
Yep.
Kiona, buy or sell that Water is Wet and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is in the works. It'll be in theaters in 2027 spring.
So at the risk of alienating like the entirety of the internet, I am not a huge Sonic movie guy. So Yeah, I mean, for me personally, sell, but on an objective level, buy, because obviously it's making a whole shit ton of money. So yeah, sure, go for it. Have your cash, Sega. Well, you can, please. If it funds more remakes and stuff, I'm good with it.
We got more Sega news later. Don't worry, Mike.
Yeah,
I buy this because, well, duh.
Absolutely. Bree.
I mean, it's literally the only good thing Paramount has going for it right now. So we're gonna milk that baby dry until it dies. I mean, I'll admit,
in the films, no. Well,
not in the films.
Was Mario in Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, was he?
Maybe briefly, but no.
That would have been the only spot where they did.
Yeah.
But honestly, as someone who has never given a fuck about Sonic the Hedgehog, and I still don't. I don't know why. I guess I wasn't cool enough, or I went outside and I had friends. But
I cared about him back in the console wars days, but that was that was in the 90s, man.
I know, but I'm like, hey, if kids like it and they're doing well, I'm like, I personally have no hedgehog in this race, so yeah, why not?
Cinematic universe. You think Nintendo's gonna play nice with people outside their own? Wow. You're so funny. You're so funny. With their own characters inside their own universe, yes, maybe, but I don't know if I see them play nice with anybody else. Oh, I'm the exact same way, Heisers. They had him acting kiddie at first, but they're actually aging the character as it goes, and it's getting better. Legitimately, and I'm not joking with you. If you would have told me that one of the most well-written, heart-wrenching moments in the film I've seen in the last 5 years will be between Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog, I would have slapped you across the face. But they did it, and it was amazing. Needs to live and learn to play with others. Speaking of, spoiler alert, that live and learn from Sonic Adventure 2 is in Sonic 3, and this is not hyperbole, and I mean this with every bit of my heart. Hey, Iron Legion.
What's up?
That needle drop with live and learn in Sonic 3, this is not hyperbole, and I mean this with all my heart, and I will die on this hill, is in my top 5 of needle drops in anything ever. It is fucking
it was
ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous how well they pulled it off. And Chunky XL did like a remixed, not remixed, but like a shortened, almost orchestral version of the guitar leading in for it up into the moment when they. Cool. Oh my god, it's so good. All right.
So wait, Chunky XL decided to actually try to make a score.
I like Chunky XL. A lot of people don't.
He actually does some of his best work in this franchise, weirdly enough.
Yes, he is good. He also did a lot of really good stuff in Deadpool, but then they kicked all the crap that he had to the side in Deadpool 1 and got rid of it. Because the theme he had for Deadpool in the original one, I liked a lot, but they just ditched it. Anyway, all right. On to gaming news. There a lot of Sony shit happened in the past few weeks.
A lot of stuff happened, man.
So we're gonna try and get through it here. All right, the future of Sony consoles. Apparently, according to reports and stuff, the PS5 is gonna have a similar life cycle to the PS4. The PS6 is implied to come out in 2027 and 2028, given the life cycle of PS4 was 7 years.
Yeah.
And this is all from an interview with not Herman Hiltz, the other CEO that I'm blanking on his name. His last name starts with an N. I can't think of his name. But
yeah, I can't
home
think
consoles
of it
will remain their core business for a while. The future remains in their hands of hardware. And Sony wants to ensure that every console generation is sold at a fair price for the right time and not only technologically advanced. Hideaki Nishino. That's who it was. That was with an interview with Famitsu.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of, I don't think, shocking news that they want to keep making consoles because
I mean, Sony's a hardware company first and foremost.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yes. And then Sony's one of their highest making things because if Netflix keeps going the way it is and Crunchyroll keeps going the way it is, they ain't gonna make as much money as they do off fucking anime. But all right. The other big one that happened is Kadakowa and Sony have agreed to form a strategic capital business alliance. Sony acquiring 12 million 54,100 new Kadakowa shares, approximately 50 billion yen. Sony will become Kadakowa's largest shareholder, holding approximately 10% of its shares, including the shares that are now previously acquired in February 2021. And the Sony, dear God, CFO, COO, SIE, CEO, Hiroki Totoki.
That's a lot of hats.
All right. Through this Capital Business Alliance, will become the largest shareholder in Kadakowa, which consistently creates a wide variety of IP, including publications, books, such as light novels and comics, as well as games and anime. Combining Kadakowa's extensive IP and IP creation ecosystem into the strengths of Sony will be promoted in global expansion in a wide range of entertainment, including anime games. We plan to work closely together to realize Kadakowa's global media mix strategy aimed at maximizing the value of its IPs and Sony's long-term vision of creative entertainment vision, which means we're getting a Elden Ring anime. I'm going to.
I mean, it makes sense because a lot of their relationships were pre-established, because Sony's usually on the production committee of like a lot of anime to begin with, and then left like.
Well, they own 80% of how it's distributed.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true.
like Aniplex or whatever, you know. And if in terms of like gaming, if it means we actually get less shitty anime games, then why not? I mean, it's already like practically Monopoly anyway. We're just being, I guess, a little bit more formal about it.
On it. If they don't have any laws of that crap over there. The other little bit of info. There's a little bit more info to it.
Kadakowa is the publisher of
shit.
They have From, right? They have From Software.
Yeah,
and
they own From Software, but they also like print books. They have some
Kadakowa is Attack on Titan's publisher. Like they've done like other things, but that's one of the big ones.
Okay. Everyone was just focusing on the fact that they're getting From Software, when if they got Kadakowa, it meant a shitload more than From Software, because apparently gamers can't think outside of their own little bubble sometimes, I guess.
Really, Brock? Really?
Yeah.
Never would have thought of that.
There was one thing that was important out of this, which people were wondering why they only got so much. Sony will gain a seat on Kadakowa's board of directors. In exchange, it is agreed to not acquire any more shares at this time.
So basically, it's to avoid like a brutal takeover. I guess that was the compromise that they could sit on the board.
Yeah, they wanted, at first there was a thing going around that Kadakowa was very okay with Sony doing a big deal with them, because there was another company in Japan that wanted to completely buy them out in a hostile takeover that they felt would not have been good for them. So they did a deal with Sony, and then I guess they worked something out to where they're keenly in charge, but they don't own them full stop. Which, that to me is nice, because they could have just went, no, we want all of your shit or no deal.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like they only wanted their anime and gaming stuff mostly.
It sounds better than the alternative.
Yes,
at least in the short term.
I mean, it kind of seems similar to like how Disney's board is, where they have like people from like other companies on the board, probably because they are majority shareholders, I'm assuming.
Nice. The deal also calls on Sony to help them distribute ebooks and digital manga titles, but Sony doesn't operate a digital manga platform yet, which means we're probably going to get one.
Probably.
Which the
I mean, there's a market with that, you know, other than Amazon's distribution system, like they're really,
and it's mostly in Viz is another big one.
Yeah,
for like digital books and stuff like that.
And then what's the one that always sponsors YouTube? God, what is the name of that service? Bookwalker. That is one. Yes. All right.
The other Sega news that I mentioned. Yes. Sega is looking at launching its own Netflix-like subscription service for video games. We're thinking something and discussing something, and we can't disclose right now. That was the full details of their. That was their full details for the interview with the BBC.
I feel like they've tried that before in the past. It might be slightly distant past, but I feel like that was the thing before. Anyway,
it's one of those things where they have a big backlog of stuff. It's just concepts of a stream. I don't own one yet.
Oh, gee.
But I mean, I would subscribe to that over whatever the Ubisoft thing is.
Oh, definitely.
So
wait, Ubisoft has as a thing.
Ubisoft had, what is that called? It's
they have
roped in.
Ubisoft Plus or whatever.
Yeah, where you get like all the Assassin's Creed games, all of the. It does have a shitload of games on it. It truthfully does.
The brand new stuff you can just play
Yeah.
via the subscription.
Yeah, and they roll it, and they have like deals. I know they have a deal with a certain level of PlayStations. Do they have one? Is it a part of a tier with Xbox?
It's part of a tier with Sony, not Xbox.
Not Xbox?
Xbox has
Okay.
EA, I think.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
they probably
Xbox has
one or the
EA.
other.
And
Got it.
and
Okay.
Sony has Ubisoft Classics, I think.
Heisers,
the
I
only
think
thing.
that is an ongoing joke that everyone says Disney wants to buy Sega because they beat out Lion King. I literally think that's where
Oh
that
my
stems
God.
from.
Oh,
I think so.
That is literally
sounds
where that comes
likely.
from. That is 1,000 TikTokers going, I heard that Disney wants to buy Sega because they beat out the Lion King. If they're worried about buying something that makes around $400 million a movie when they're struggling to make movies where every now and then they have one that makes $1 billion, they can just calm down just a little bit. All right. So, oh crap, I forgot I had to get on this. GTA 6. There was a rumor that yeah.
I like
so
that ire.
yeah. You know
Yeah.
what someone needs to
That'd be
create?
sick.
A program that keeps track of the series you automatically subscribe to the corresponding service and deletes it once you've watched. That they do have a thing like Rocket Money where it keeps track of your stuff and it can't overdo you, but that would be cool if you had like a timer thing like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah.
funny.
Hey, Mike. So this is my favorite thing to do every now and then. So, Mike, what is the top number of Disney Plus subscribers? What's the top billing you can, or the lowest thing you could get for paying on Disney Plus?
I think it's the $9.99 ad supported.
I thought it was $7.99 for the ad supported. Did they
Maybe
did they
it
bump
is,
it
I
up?
don't know.
All right.
I think they might have.
All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna round up from the 0.6, so we have our number here. Umbreon brought this up that they need to make $1 billion, so we're just gonna put that there. This is my favorite thing to do. I haven't got to do this in a while. So what was it, $9? You said
Yeah, let's just
the
say it's
gold
like
bear, like-
$9, $10. I don't
9
know.
times 1 5 8 0 0 0 0 0 0. Yeah, they make about 1.5 every month from Disney Plus, 1.5 billion. So, if anyone is complaining about money over at Disney, they have 158.6 million subscribers on Disney Plus, according to their last quarterly add up. That is insane. I have Disney Plus because it's discounted through my phone plan. I had that for a little bit. I had a deal off on it. All right, so there's a leak for GTA 6.
Another leak. I just honestly, it amazes
Shocked.
me
I'm
about
shocked at
how
this.
much
I'm shocked.
we know about this game, and it's still not out yet.
Well, shockingly, we know what they say they want, and it's the supposed leak for the final version of this game. I don't believe this, but this was true. Holy fuck. Supposedly, the install size of GTA when it comes out, according to this rumor, is 750 gigs.
Oh
That
my
can't be
fucking
real.
god! No.
I repeat, rumor.
That cannot be true.
Could
For
you imagine?
For context, how much is like the average size?
Normally 50 more
Cannot
gigs than
be
that.
Yeah.
And that's the extra 50 that they have for your system software.
Yes, exactly. That's like the stuff that they don't really. Yeah.
So that would be if that's a
Doesn't
stock
really
system
count.
without any extra internal stuff added, that'd be the entire system.
I mean,
minus
that
the
would
6 gigs.
be like running it on a base level Nintendo Switch. Like, what the actual fuck?
Ridiculous.
If that is true, I will lose my shit.
That cannot be true.
I will. People were mad when freaking COD was 300. I still understand why COD is 300. But
I don't either. I don't get that. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't get it either. All right. This next one is for you, Kiona.
Go
New
for it.
report. Former Bungie legal executive reveals that the studio hired fans to save money. We hired fans because fans would work for less. We totally took advantage of that at Bungie.
No shit, Sherlock. I mean, no, it's like, yeah, come on. That
I need to
is
say the
just-
quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
No shame. Just none.
yeah, no shame.
We need to add that company
They're
is
wondering
on literal
why their
life
game
support.
is just flaming out.
That company would be literally dead if Sony hadn't bought them.
Yeah, they
And
would
people
be
were
because of
mad that Sony
mismanagement
did.
at the top
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This is crazy. Like, I don't even see. Here's the thing. Okay, I've been getting a slight itch to go back to Destiny 2 lately, just because that was my comfort game for so
someone putting a
long.
gun to your head?
No, I mean it's just it's like a jock itch, right? You don't even know that it's there until suddenly it's like, oh yay, yippee, it's there. Anyway, I just think that like in terms of like going back and playing that game, the company is such a piece of shit now that I don't know that I can justify it. But at the same time, it's like that game was my comfort game, so that's the only reason why I feel like.
The reason why I bought my first Xbox console in a while was because my friends played it on there, and then a month later they stopped playing it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have anybody that would play that game with me anymore.
Hey, there you go.
But it's like, yeah, thank you, Ire. I'm glad that you appreciated that. Thank you.
but
Yeah, Umbreon, yeah, exactly. Pete Parsons needs all the new cars ever made. That's the entire reasoning behind everything. That's the reason why they had to fire so many people. And oh my God, Pete Parsons needs to go. Like, get the fuck out.
Into
All
a fiery lake.
So we were talking about things going on, and the only thing that Paramount had going for it. So for people that don't know and people that care, whatever, I, growing up, and still now, am a giant Power Rangers fan. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, or how I do whatever. One of my proudest moments, and Eli, if you're still in here, was getting to meet JDF at a con, and I've got is JDF, Billy, Amy Jo Johnson, the guy who plays Billy, I'm blanking on his name right now, and Rocky. I got to. But anyway, so Netflix got a hold of the property and did the equality of nothing for the longest time. So everyone thought they were dead in the water, the big studio sell-off of all the property that happened. And now, apparently, according to Daniel RPK, there is a new live-action Power Rangers movie that is reportedly in development, and I guess that Paramount is doing the heavy-duty lifting to try and get the film made, and there's supposedly also an animated Power Rangers series being made along with it. It's not, then neither are connected to anything.
Interesting.
I could believe that Paramount rumor because they've kind of done similar things with both Transformers and TMNT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I could see them trying to get an animated Power Rangers
right, and
thing
also,
off the ground.
And also for the longest time, Power Rangers was on Nickelodeon too.
Oh, it was. Nickelodeon did great with it. That was the thing where it went from Fox to Disney.
Disney.
Yeah,
no, it was
Disney.
Disney because Disney acquired Saban.
Yeah, and then they went there for a while, and then it went over to Nickelodeon, and then it went in. But yeah, it was. I saw them. I've seen every Power Rangers movie in theaters. But yeah, they had good seasons that got throughout it. It's just that they just couldn't get anything out of it, and it shockingly may not make a lot, but it always does well. And I will not allow myself to forgive this world for letting that latest Power Rangers movie fail. I know I've said that multiple times, but the acting pedigree you had in that movie,
ridiculous,
and the people that could have came up with that and stayed through it was unreal.
I mean, you could have had a trilogy if you actually fucking marketed the movie and actually did shit.
Turbo was your worst one? Was it the Turbo movie? Or was it the Turbo show?
I think he's talking about the sequel, Turbo
Sequel?
Power Rangers movie.
Oh, the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
got
that
it.
the one with Ivan Slime or whatever?
No,
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze, you uncultured swine!
Look, I haven't. The last time I watched that was in a condo in Ocean City, New Jersey, when I was like 12. Okay, so
Ivan Ooze was in the original. Have you hugged your Zords today? Ivan Ooze! I don't remember who the hell played him, but he was spectacular. He was just the best. All right. Okay. So apparently, I don't know who did this. It was just mandatory since it replaced the dinosaur Zords with the animal ones. Yeah. What's up, Phoenix? What's up, buddy? This is a buddy of mine that I had met at my last Twin Cities con. He's a really nice dude. Bring back Amy Jo Johnson, then we can have money. Did you like seeing evil Amy Jo Johnson in the second movie, Paul? Hey, by the way, Paul, I got to meet Amy. She's a beautiful person. She's fantastic. Yes. She's an absolute sweetheart. Yeah. A lot shorter than I expected her to be. Like, she didn't even come up to my shoulder. But, okay.
Well, I mean, they had to fit into the little Japanese girl costume, so...
I mean,
fun fact for everyone, didn't realize this until someone pointed it out in an interview later, that in the show, the original yellow Mighty Morphin Power Ranger was a male, but they made it female in the American version. I never realized it when I was watching that the clips of it, they never had a skirt. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird. But yeah, no yellow skirt, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go on to the either this person's crazy or they've been gaslit section of the podcast. Sony Pictures CEO Tony Vinequera, I'm going to announce, either huffed a lot of drugs or is genuinely gaslit. So he had an interview about these Sony Spider-Man villain movies and said some statements. And so he was talking about Kraven the Hunter, about Madam Web and all this stuff. And he said, if we put out another one, it's going to get destroyed no matter how bad it is because critics just crucified them for no reason. Now, he said, I still don't when talking about Kraven the Hunter, I still don't understand because it's not a bad film. And then he goes on to talk about Madam Web, and it says, WB, that Madam Web's performing bad and insists it's not a bad film. He says the press is the result of that because in his exact quotes, Madam Web underperformed in the theaters because the press just crucified it. It was not a bad film. It did great on Netflix.
A misunderstood classic of cinema. That's
Here's
what this
the thing.
is.
Madam Web barely qualifies as a movie because, like, on a technical level, I mean, the editing, from what I've seen, is fucking horrendous. The obviously ADR stuff, the bad sound mixing, like, even as like a movie, like, it's barely a movie. It is literally stitched together with duct tape.
There's less lines that are not ADR'd than are ADR'd. When I tell you, I thought I was having a fucking stroke because I was watching the film. The character was looking directly down the barrel of the lens and he's talking and they're ADRing his lines at the camera. And they were off sync. I thought I was having a stroke. I didn't know what was happening. And then almost every one of the villain's lines is ADR. Almost every one of them. I think he has 2 actual lines in the whole movie.
I don't even think he has that. I think all of his lines are ADR.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
You know what would have made Madam Web a good movie?
Is not happening?
Well, other than that, if you walk into the theater and you get like a packet of salvia,
Here,
then it would have been a masterpiece.
Here's the worst part, and I said this with Mike in both of our reviews. There is an honest-to-God plot in Madam Web that if you deconstruct it, Madam Web, they're trying to prevent the future of having these 3 spider heroes get their powers to take this guy out. And then this woman, Madam Web, who doesn't like the idea of kids and doesn't have her powers and shit, finds her powers and then helps these kids out and then becomes their surrogate mother figure and they become crime fighters. On its head, that is not a bad thing. It truly isn't. But when you add my mother died in the Congo and then I never saw her again. Level of lines.
And they never
That's a
put it
line
back in. Which,
the Amazon, sorry. The Amazon. She's on the quest in the Amazon. She died in the Amazon. Oh, God. The line is so dumb. She died in the Amazon researching spiders, and I never saw her again. No, duh, you never saw her again. She died. And then, like, the same thing with Craven. At its heart, a poacher whose dad was a poacher, did stuff wrong, and then, like, he hates animals being mistreated, but he knows how to hunt really well, and he hunts down people that are bad and hunts them in an animalistic style because he only knows how to hunt animals. That's not a bad idea for a killer, but that's a very bad Craven the Hunter movie. Because he's supposed to be a hunter that hunts big game and likes doing it.
Yeah.
A good movie came from a horrible premise that the writers and actors fully commit to work. Yeah, there was one of those. Didn't work for. It was disappointing. Craven didn't work for PETA. Hey, Manny. And then my last quote underneath that was, remember when Sony said they were going to take those failures well? And honestly, to be fair, ideas are good. Yeah, ideas are always good. But here's the thing. I'll openly say that Morbius was bad and there wasn't a good script for Morbius. Morbius was just bad. Like, the other two had a genuine, decent idea in them. But I to this day, I want to see what that script for that El Muerte movie was going to be.
I'm so
morbidly
curious.
Speaking of curious,
you're morbidly curious.
Yes. Speaking of Mike, I still have a bone to pick with you. Yeah, how the fuck on Letterboxd did you put Madam Web over Craven?
He likes it better. We had an argument about that. He likes it. I like it the other way around. He likes it.
So I'll repeat what I said on Blue Sky. Madam Web, at the very least, is entertainingly bad. Craven is just kind of regular bad.
Right, but at least Craven's a movie.
That's true. I will say this.
That is true. It was filmed, it was shot, it was edited, and it was put on the screen. You're correct.
Let me finish. Both are better than Morbius.
You're correct. There is two genuinely fucking hilarious lines in Morbius. When he meets up with Matt Smith in the thing and they're talking about stuff, he's like, you better you better get to the point quickly or I'm going to hobble awkwardly in that direction. That was actually really funny. And then when he's breaking the guy's bones, he's like, oh, that little stinky pinky. He like starts breaking his bones. That was funny. But when they literally made Matt Smith Bully Maguire from Spider-Man 3 as the villain, that scene of, I don't know who's all seen Morbius. This is
I know the scene that you're talking about.
The scene when he's dancing shirtless in front of the mirror. Oh my God.
Here's the thing, like, every time someone tries to do a Bully Maguire scene, like, they don't understand it. Like, the Bully Maguire scene's supposed to be, like, cringy. Like, it's not supposed to be hot, like, you know, Lenny in Legion. Like, that's not the thing. It's Peter Parker's a dork and he's acting like a fucking jackass. Like, that's the whole thing.
I get that, but there's still moments that are way too cringy. When he literally walks in front of the mirror and goes, no, my hair's not emo enough. Hold on. Does that, I was like, what are we doing? Put the dig on this when he's in the fucking... I could talk a while about how that...
Oh my God, the dig on
that, yeah. I got to see Yuri Lowenthal do that dance on his table as a signing. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's fantastic. I would love to see that.
Sony Pictures, the studio behind It Ends With Us, has released a statement in support of Blake Lively after she is accused by Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment and launching a smear campaign against her. We previously have expressed our support for Blake in connection with her work and for the film. We are fully and firmly reiterate the support today. Further, we strongly condemn any
reputational.
Reputation. That's the first time I've seen that word used that way. Reputational attacks on her. Any such attacks have no place in our business or in our civil society.
And then also just to add on to it, this happened, I think, either yesterday or today. Baldoni just launched a lawsuit against the New York Times.
This is probably one of the messiest behind the scenes things that I've seen in a while.
I might be biased, but I don't think anyone who's like innocent does like all this damage control.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I mean, also we're talking about Blake Lively. I mean, is she probably the most social aware person? Like, no, but considering like her reputation, like the whole thing just seemed off when it first started.
Oh, absolutely. And then I saw someone with the media literacy of a fucking goldfish online go, why is everyone so supportive of Blake Lively, but they shit all over Amber Heard? I'm like, in your statement alone, you don't understand how funny that statement is, considering what she did to Johnny Depp. She literally shit in his bed. Amber Heard is a pile of shit. Blake Lively's in a bad situation. There's a reason why no one supported Amber Heard. They're two totally different situations. They could not be farther apart if you tried. I don't get, like, just because it's not them only supporting some women, that's not what this whole thing is. I don't get, like, what?
Oh, here's a funny addition to that. Something that the New York Post tweeted out. Justin Baldoni claims Ryan Reynolds berated him for fat shaming Blake Lively in this new lawsuit. Like, so what are we doing here?
In news report, guy fat shamed his wife. And here's the best part about that statement you just said. He's not denying that he fat shamed Blake Lively. He's just filing a lawsuit because Ryan Reynolds was upset with him about it.
Yeah, like
what? What are we doing here? This is like, not that long ago, we had Drake, who filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group because he did not believe that Not Like Us got that many streams, but didn't file a lawsuit first against Kendrick for calling him a pedophile! What are these people in these lawsuits? What is this shit? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. Alright, so Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Bergman on Agatha All Along. Agatha was certainly a big win for us and widened the audience as the that watches the Marvel titles. The movies have primarily been more male than female, and Agatha gave us an opportunity to try and hit a female audience more as well.
Well, I don't know about that. You had Patty Lupone, so your audience
that was already a big.
No, so your audience is already going to be like men. It's just going to be flamboyantly gay men. So. Yes, Did I lie? Did I lie?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes. Yeah. It is one of those things where it is nice to see that they can still get that stuff through. It's just they have to contend with people that, and say the line part, you don't deserve women. I just after all this shit that happened with What If recently, I just can't with men, period, for the most part. Because I can tell you right now, none of them watched the original interview that happened when the guy talked about what If was going to be, when they're bitching about what If became. Because he openly said that this character is going to do a lot of things throughout the entire show. He said this in a live interview that you can go look up, and that the show was going to have anthology episodes that always lead to an accumulative season finale. And then people 3 years later go, I don't understand why the show was this way. Because the show writers said it was.
And animation takes a long time, so they had that in the can. So this was settled during that interview 3 years ago. Because, again, animation takes a long time.
It does, but God forbid. All right. Now on to another great statement that this guy, some way he makes films I don't disagree with, but I agree with this statement fully. David Ayer has responded to the public criticism of him supporting James Gunn's upcoming film, Superman and the cinematic expansion of the collective DC universe. My lord, if supporting another filmmaker is so contentious, then I'm just lost at this point.
I mean, at least he's consistent. Like, he's been between that and like Zack Snyder and now like James Gunn. Look, I do not like Suicide Squad. It's not my most hated film of all time, but it was a film that I'm glad I only paid like $2 to see because I had T-Mobile.
I can see that.
It is a film that I felt like I could feel the edits happening where they were as I watched it. That film, it felt like it was instantly trying to pull at all points from being an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Literally, if not for the cast being as like charismatic as they were, that film would have crumbled.
Yeah, I really like
that
the
film
cast.
made like $700 million. It's like a goddamn miracle.
Yeah,
that cast.
I like the cast and I like the characters, and that was the reason why I saw it.
No, but it's like, guys, like what are we doing? Like,
yeah.
It's just,
I don't know.
It's so weird.
It's just
it's a hot mess.
It is, and you know exactly who's the people that's ripping all this crap to shreds.
mm-hmm.
And it's never going to be happy. And they're always going to like anyone who like King Lion is a guy that I don't agree with everything that he says, but at this point, people like DC more than Marvel at some points has the most fake fans on the planet.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like half of them, like if you're watching like Batman or like whatever, it's the equivalent of wearing like a New York Yankees hat. Like,
and it's like I am a giant Batman fan myself. I am honest enough to say that character is beyond overused, and they keep using that character because it's this little funny thing where you go see it if they make one. The crazy thing, if they made these other projects and you went and go saw them, they know they make money and then they try other stuff. I know that sounds insane, but, like that guy over-explaining the sport. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. I like the, I don't know, Kyoto, if you've seen it, the version of Johnny, what's his name? Not Johnny Hungy. What's his actual last wrestling name?
John Silver.
John Silver, like doing the meme to Anna Jay in the back.
Yeah, the meme to Anna Jay. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic. But
that's funny.
It's any of y'all that want to have stuff going forward. The Snyder shit's not coming back, and if you want DC movies to happen, go watch the movies.
Yes,
support it.
Because if this fails, DC's fucked. Done. WB's not going to care.
Oh, no, they will sell it off. I mean, because correct me if I'm wrong, WB like ended up with DC in the 70s because of the Time magazine merger or whatever.
I honestly don't remember.
I think that was a result of the Circle 7 acquisition, I think.
Right. No, you're right.
But either way, I don't think they'll sell them, but you're never going to see big budget films that aren't Batman. And again, huge Batman fan, that would kill me. That would literally kill me. I want other characters getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Save this from the
And I mean, the thing of it is with the DCU going forward is that like, at the very least, you know that James Gunn is a comic book guy. You know that he has interest, obviously, in characters that are even considered like tertiary characters. You know what I mean? So like you can expect him to make use of characters like Lobo and like the Creature Commandos and like, the Bat family. I mean, I'm really excited for that. As much as Batman is overused, the family and the characters surrounding him are not.
Not
so that is something
action,
that we can actually
at all, which is kind of really weird when you actually think about it.
It is really weird.
It's because general audiences don't like don't like anything that isn't just purely Batman.
Yeah, or when
Yeah.
they did use them, people like to
was-
talk about character assassinations. I love the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie. Their version of Cassandra Cain made me want to put my fucking head through a wall.
Oh
She
my
is
God,
basically
for
Cassandra
real.
Cain in name only.
In
Name and
only.
nationality. That is it.
That's it.
Oh, it's bad. Ugh. Why hasn't DC let Greg Berlanti? Because they don't consider TV to be a big deal.
That,
Yeah.
and I believe they did offer what James Gunn is doing now to Berlanti, and it's like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, that could be.
I highly doubt that he would want to mess around with the movies.
Also, he's
Considering
been
all the work
doing
that
that for.
he's been doing that
this
for
stuff with the
so long.
Arrowverse for how long?
Like at least a
Over
decade.
a decade.
Yeah, absolutely. Let the dude
Yeah.
rest. He
Yeah.
outside of Supernatural, he kept CW afloat for like 14 years.
Yep.
All right. One last thing about superhero movies. All right. This is the brutalist director
Brady Corbett.
Brady Corbett. I don't understand why it's okay for superhero films, in brackets, to be 3 hours long, and yet when you're making a drama about adults, for adults, by adults, it's like, well, you have to mop this up in 90 minutes.
So, some context around this quote. First of all, if you're not watching Variety's Directors on Directors interviews, you definitely should, because those are very informative. But this quote actually has nothing to do with superhero movies. It's just he and Sean Baker were talking about theatrical distribution and like audiences going to see movies with like long run times. And this movie, The Brutalist, is like 3.5 hours plus an intermission. So that's a huge commitment for general audiences. I kind of disagree with what he said about, so superhero movies can be 3 hours, but like an adult drama, you got to mop it up in 90 minutes. I think the perfect runtime is like 2 hours. 2
hours 20 minutes for me. I would say.
220 is like perfect.
Absolutely. And I understand long drawn out dramas. Unless you're doing a fucking stage play, I don't care what version of any movie, it does not have to be 3 hours. I don't care. I understand you want to do a story. We're not doing shit with intermissions anymore. I had to take a break while watching even a superhero movie. I needed to take a break while watching Snyder's Justice League. That was it was good.
But Wicked was good.
And that's still not 3 hours.
And it's part one. That's why they split it. Because no one wants to sit through a 4-hour Wicked movie. And I love Wicked.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like you just mentioned Lord of the Rings. I love my buddy Brian Thurmeyer to death. I always give him crap about this. He said he wanted to, like, years ago, he was coming into town to hang out with me for one day. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? He's like, well, part of the day we can watch the Lord of the Rings extended versions. I'm like, part of the day?
That's the entire day. If you do
That's 9 hours of films. And then it's like, I'm very okay with you having the stock version. That's like 2 hours, 220. And then you get the extended versions. Skill issue is not the amount of hours I have in a day, Umbreon.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look up the total runtime of the Lord of the Rings extended editions.
But if you want to have an extra extended edition of something, perfectly fine. That is okay. Put it all together and have it on the Blu-ray, but don't make that the version it has to be, that someone can't enjoy your movie unless it's 5 hours long. That is nowhere near necessary. I don't care what story you're telling. At that point, make it a TV show.
No, I agree. And also, as someone who like edits, like for me, like this is going back to Wicked. it was.
No, I didn't. But Oppenheimer didn't have to be that long.
No, but just to go to like Wicked because of recency bias, and this is like a good example. It did not feel like a 2-hour, 40-minute movie. Like that's how you know a movie's edited well is if it keeps going, and then you're like, wait, it's over. Like, but I feel like if you're drawing out, here's like another example, more of a classic, like Titanic. It doesn't feel like 180 minutes to me because you're so engaged with everything. Yeah, if your movie's like 3 hours long and you're not saying anything, and it's just a lot of like character studies, I mean, cool, but to me, that's tells me you didn't know how to trim your story down.
Yeah. Editing is important. It's very, very important. All right. So I said that when we were doing this one, we're going to have words because I felt like the movie that was too long didn't need to... You and me need to have words about a lot of things, Umbreon.
I didn't... Oh, yeah, I'm going to yell at this. I'm going to swear at this. So if half of this has to be bleeped out on YouTube, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That was a different time frame. I'm sorry. God, bringing up Lawrence of Arabia. What are you even doing, Paul? Get that crap out of here.
Paul is trolling.
Catch these dark type hands. Get out of here. All right, so...
yeah, and I'm going to bring another part of this in a second because this is part of a larger interview. But go on, Brock.
So,
and then I'll yell.
Dumb statements. Netflix execs tell screenwriters to have characters announce what they're doing so that writers who have a program on in the background can follow along. They also have thousands of micro-genres, including casual viewing, which is used for most movies/TVs to go down best when you're not paying attention. Don't make the show then! You're making a show that I'm not watching? What?
I was so mad. I remember it was in my class's group chat. I put as a response that GIF of Eugene from Hey Arnold throwing the tomatoes. Like, this pissed me off, like, so fucking much. Like,
so dumb. This is so dumb.
Yeah, because here's, like, the thing. Like, when you announce, like, just what they're doing, I'm like, so you're telling me that you don't trust your audience to have, like, any intelligence, like, whatsoever, that you have to, like, this is the emotive thing I'm doing now. I'm like, that's not how storytelling fucking works.
You know what this reminds me of? A return to the Hays Code, but worse.
You're gonna have to fill me in on that. I have no idea what that is.
It's an old Hollywood standards and practices before the creation of the MPAA.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with that to an extent, but here's the thing. This tells me that you just want, like, content. You're not interested in just telling stories, because here's, like, the whole thing. Show don't just tell. Like, some things you should tell, but, like, just telling, like, I don't want to be told a story like I'm reading, like, fucking IKEA instructions on, like, what to do next. Because how is that enjoyable for, like, anyone?
No, I'll pay attention to something, but I don't think you should purposely say, you want to know what immediately thought into my brain? And it's just like, hey, Tina, I'm about to shoot the bad guy in the head. I'm glad you're doing dishes. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Like, that's exactly what I picture.
You know what it reminds me of? Like, the old Speed Racer dub.
Oh my God.
You know, where we, like, explain everything. Like, look over there. Here's what it is. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to wonder why on the track right now.
Literacy is dying.
You want Kiona, you know what this reminds me of? The old things that Mortal Kombat players used to say during grapplers. What was over there? Hello over there!
Yes.
So
but to me, like, not only, like, as a storyteller, I'm insulted, but, like, as an audience member, because, like, how dare you, like, say, like, oh, I need to just wiggle, like, the little jingly keys and I have to baby feed you all your information. So you're telling me I'm a dumb fucking idiot that can't understand anything or,
exactly.
Understand
That's exactly
subtext.
what they're doing.
I'm like, Just
Like-
fuck this.
Like, like anybody watches anything that they want to watch, but like Umbreon just said this, and that was another thing that I just said there. I'm picturing this innocent mom that likes to watch movies and other stuff, and then her daughter or son are coming back in with their friends, and she happened to have been watching The Human Centipede, and an AI is telling her in the background what is going on, and the kids walk in on the AI going,
Oh, jeez.
the head is now being inserted into the asshole, and they are taping it shut. Like, what are we? Like, what is it? What?
Like, if it's for like visually impaired people, fine, but
Yeah, that's different. But they're openly admitting, no, this is just for people who like to put something on in the background. If I'm putting something on in the background that is a TV show, that means I've already watched it.
Yeah,
Same.
exactly.
Or it's a stand-up comedian where I don't need to watch him.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore with these people, but anyway,
It's so stupid.
On to something else that's not stupid. So, DC is making a Harley Quinn scratch and sniff fart comic.
oh, DeviantArt 2008. It's like you never left us.
And then I know everyone who's watching this goes, Brock, only if we had pictures of proof of that. God,
Oh, no,
if I
I've
could
seen the
only
proof.
only supply that.
Like this is like fetish art. Like why? Huh? Like this is straight up like something I would have by accident stumbled upon DeviantArt when I was like 13. Like this is kind
Read
of
the comic from Abraham Lincoln called "A Joy from Fart to Finish."
Oh my god.
Fartacular, silent, but see what they did there?
I see
BUTT,
what they did
deadly.
But this is like clearly someone's fetish. Like this is like
Yeah. I don't. What are we even? Don't ever say creativity is dead. That's what C-SPAN's for. I didn't know C-SPAN had fart comics, Paul. But I saw this and I honest to God thought it was a joke.
Nope,
We
it's
have
real.
gone so far to rehabilitate the image of Harley Quinn.
And then you do
And then this.
this.
yeah, which is this is I'm like I don't know if it's intended for kids, but I'm like that's kind of like
God, I hope
porn.
not.
I mean, I'm
Unless,
sorry. Like look, if you've encountered like any furries as friends or just like in general, like the like not the normal ones, but this is like the weird shit. Like the farting fetish is like definitely like someone's weird kink.
It is definitely
like
that.
why like. I should only be able to find this if I'm like weird and I am specifically looking for this, along with my feet pics. Like,
But I also did yep, you're not wrong, Legion. You are 100% not wrong.
no, like I don't kick shame either. Look, I have some weird shit. I'm into, but like I don't subject other people to it, let alone make it off of like a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Well, people want stuff to be comic accurate. So the next Harley, they're gonna have to have in those 4D screenings. We're going to have this stuff coming in.
Oh no.
Plot twist: it's only going to put on people who buy it on a watch list. I'm all for this. I'm good with that. All right,
They're just providing a public service. You see.
Yes. One last one that we got going here is something that I'm interested to see how they're going to implement. YouTube says it's going to crack down on videos with clickbait titles and thumbnails starting in India. Focus on breaking news and current events, and the rollout will start in the coming months.
You know what's going to happen if this actually succeeds? It will wipe out the entirety of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one meme? It's like,
Yep.
Yeah, 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 and clickbait and other things, because that's going to go on to other things of like the fat loss, weight loss plans that are just you selling people garbage to try and make money off of the Bitcoin, make it big, rich, fast, whatever.
I think it's more focused on that. Like, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go into like niche areas of YouTube, but like a lot of stuff like the scams and like the breaking news stories, like it is genuinely a problem. I'm a little hesitant considering YouTube's track record of fixing things, but
yeah, knowing exactly. I think Heiser's has a absolutely.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, so I remembered that I sent myself these, and I forgot to put them in there. I had some.
Yes.
When we saw that the Batman was delayed, I had some casting calls that it's a character and not the other way around, or who they're going to be posted as, because I saw these two that someone put on a dream casting on TikTok, and I thought these were beyond perfect. I don't know if I could think of better versions for them to do in the upcoming DC universe. The first one is Mr. Freeze, and their suggestion was Paul Bettany.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Does anyone have any other good ones? Because that one I thought was just, I'd be disappointed if it's anyone else after I saw that.
I'm trying to think of Stanley Tucci, maybe?
That would not be a bad one. Mark Strong, honest to God, wouldn't be a bad one.
Choice. I was thinking of somebody like maybe a Mark Strong, even though I know he's played like Sinestro before, but I mean like...
I wouldn't be mad if they brought him back as Sinestro.
I wouldn't be mad that they brought him back as Sinestro either, honestly, but like,
wait. Nope, I have one. Ray Fiennes.
Oh, Ray Fiennes.
Wouldn't be bad either.
Fuck everybody else, Ray Fiennes.
Keanu Reeves, not so much. I don't see him as Mr. Freeze.
I don't really see him as Mr. Freeze.
Here's the thing.
Interesting.
Arnold.
Of course. No, here's the thing. When I'm looking for like the perfect Mr. Freeze casting, you have to go for someone who can sell the sadness, not just the cold killer. You need the sadness. And that's why I think Ray Fiennes would be good for that role.
Oh, well, I have another one, and this might be recency bias too. What about Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, I could see it.
I could see that.
That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind Bill Skarsgård as Scarecrow.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That'd be good.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Fuji Mangione as Mr. Freeze.
Nice.
Brian, that's
I will freeze your health care debt.
They denied the health care for his wife. All right. The other one.
Well, actually, low-key, that would be a good idea for a new Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, actually, it would. It would work.
It would. All right. So the other one, and when I saw this, other than the video game role that I want him to play, someone put up a Photoshop of Anthony Starr's Reverse Flash.
I mean, that's perfect.
And if you want someone who can play petty and be the most just fuck you, Barry Allen person on the planet, Anthony Starr is pretty up there.
Yeah,
I don't have any. I don't have any other casting that would be better than that.
It's like, I want him to do that, and I want him to be Albert Wesker. Like, it's just, it writes itself. Like, just look at the guy. But, yeah, those are ones where they were too perfect, and I had to bring it in. The other one, which I was going to bring up because the movie came out, but you two aren't as big of fans on it. Because I have to show the clip because I'm just that person, because I'm this proud of it. We know. And I've talked with Zane about this. I believe I've talked to you about this, but I said it as a prediction, I'm pretty sure, in our first Sonic review, and I am saying it now. Paramount, you nailed it with Idris Elba as Knuckles. Get Keanu Reeves to be Shadow. I called Shadow in both of our reviews, and I told Mike, I kind of need Anna Kendrick to be Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
I could
it.
see that. Totally.
I don't know if I brought this
Totally.
up in our original review, but the other name that's been coming up more lately, Kimiko Glenn.
Kimiko Glenn
yeah.
won't be half bad.
Okay.
She would not be half bad. Also, Karen Fukuhara wouldn't be terrible.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That would not be bad. But
But
yeah,
who would you cast as Big the Cat, Brock?
Run Funches.
That's
no, Vin
Nailed it in
Diesel.
one.
Your family, Sonic.
And the best part, Jeff, the director of all these, has openly said that he's been trying his hardest some way to figure out how to put Big the Cat in the movies. He openly said that he almost had a skeleton of Big the Cat in Sonic 2.
Nice.
Damn it, why didn't you do it?
I would just love the end credit scene where they're just Sonic and them having a vacation out on a lake, which was roughly what they're doing in this, and then it just pans backwards, and all you see is a bobber. And then it doesn't show anything else. All the fans will know what that is. But everyone will be like, what is just a fishing pole? And then everyone's like, Big the Cat!
He died doing what he loved.
Oh, it would be fantastic. They need to have something just stupid and Shakespearean. Like, no, that will be the one. They need to get Daniel Day-Lewis to be Big the Cat.
Oh my god, that would be amazing, honestly. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in support
There
of
was
that.
man, I'm blanking on it. But in the Sonic the in the Shadow the Hedgehog game, there's I can't remember what his name is. But he's a robot that used to be Robotnik's that changes sides and then helps out Shadow. And I can't remember what his name is. But everyone said that and now I'm blanking on his name. The T1000. Patrick.
Robert Patrick?
Robert Patrick should voice him just because he's an android. That'd be pretty sick. All right, but yeah, and that's just the one I want. And I think that's one that I might be able to sink into because she'd be freaking perfect.
Do you remember that movie, The Marine, with John Cena?
Yes, I do. I love that.
Do you remember
movie.
there was that scene with like Robert Patrick sitting there in the car and they're like, dude, this guy doesn't stop. He's unstoppable like the Terminator. And then Robert Patrick just gives like the camera a look.
Yep. That's also the same thing where Robert Patrick's trying to drive a car, and I can't remember who the female villain was in that, just straddles him fully and basically starts fucking him in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I know.
For no reason!
For no reason.
Whatsoever. But, yeah. Dude, I have said multiple times, I don't know if they'll ever make it in the movies, but Scratch and Grounder being blueprints in the background of a lab somewhere would make me so happy. And if they ever put Scratch and Grounder in movies, it would need to be Key and Peele.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or Cheech and Chong. It would just be the best. Oh, it would be so good. But that's all I've got for now. Anyone else got anything that they wanted to bring up that was over the new year?
Did we like officially talk about the Superman trailer yet?
No, we didn't. I don't think we have.
Oh shit!
I don't know if we have, but we can absolutely. It's really good. It's like really good. I like it a lot. It's really good.
I just like that one scene from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just saw Crypto. If anyone heard him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like it just feels good. It feels right. I love literally everything about it.
Me too.
I'm jealous of anyone who has seen it on the big screen already because.
Oh, I saw it. God, what? I'm trying to remember which film I saw it with. Oh no, wait! It was on. I saw it. No, it wasn't big screen. It was the full high resolution, like 4K version. During the Netflix football game, I was like, I know I saw it. I just couldn't remember where.
Yeah, I got to see it in theaters before Sonic. It was fantastic. And one thing that I love to point out, the cut of the volume very beginning. Yeah, the one thing that I love is that I saw in this theater, or I saw online, that people were bitching about how there is a shot. I'm going to assume it's like acting like a drone doing whatever, but it's a shot of David Cornsweet's Superman flying, and it's a back angle of watching him flying from the front, or of watching him from the back, and you see like him over his back shoulder by like his feet, having him fly forward. Mm-hmm. And then it was a bunch of, the people that rhyme with Snyder fans, and we're looking it over going, this is a fucking stupid shot. That Snyder never would have did this. Then cut to the exact same shot that is in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
For an extended period when he first learns how to fly. Literally the exact same shot.
It's the exact same shot.
And Gunn has even admitted that, yeah, my film is inspired by things that have come before.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, Gunn also openly admitted that he spoke with Zack about the Trunks, and Zack wanted to put Trunks on Superman, but he could never find a way to make it work. Interesting. That was another complaint where Zack would never want to make that happen, but yet magically, the film director that everyone thinks Zack hates, that gets along with him quite well, openly had a conversation with him and said that he wanted to put Trunks on him.
It's almost like people forget that they're friends in real life.
Yeah, it's almost like directors don't hate each other automatically.
It's almost like they're people with jobs and lives.
Yeah. Who don't obsess over every single little detail all day.
What I can't wait for, and I tell you, I can't wait for people to say he was made to go there. I can't wait for him to show up at the Superman premiere and be happy. He had to go there. Someone made him go. I guarantee you that's what's going to get said.
Yeah, honestly, low-key, the dehumanization of Zack Snyder just needs to be studied. Because, did it ever, occur to people that maybe, one of the reasons, why he quit wasn't just, the box office things, but, his daughter's, death. And this, maybe he just doesn't want to associate with that part of his life anymore. But no, we gotta have Justice League 10, Super Friends, or whatever the fuck.
Oh, absolutely. I'll agree 100% with that. Absolutely. But yeah, and it's one of those things where he became a sales pitch for WB, and 98% of all Snyder fans bit right into that and let that become their entire lives, where we need a Snyder Cut, blah, blah, blah. You're literally begging them to use him as a ploy to get you to buy a subscription. They don't care. He's a selling point. You're watching a company abuse a director and then cheer for it and then pay them money to keep doing it. And then being upset when Zack doesn't want to do it anymore. It's the most reverse Stockholm syndrome I've ever seen in my life.
And going back to the David Ayer of it all, he told his audience, hey guys, when on the day that the Superman trailer drops, don't do any of your hashtags.
Yeah.
He's like, leave all that alone on this day. And literally, I saw Snyder fans quoting exactly that and then doing literally the opposite of what he said.
Yeah.
Well, I think most of these directors know better now, the kind of people that they were, getting in bed with, and they're like, oh, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I can see Clownfish TV's directors making it. He's
definitely
how he's lying.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong.
You're not
all
wrong
right.
on that.
That's all I got. Yeah. Are you guys up for doing a little bit of game night after this?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm a little tired, but I can hang out.
All right. Awesome. Everyone who is
It's been a long
watching,
day.
yeah, everyone who is watching, this live stream is going to stop, and in a little bit, a new one will start, just so that this giant thing isn't a compressing file turning into one big thing. So anyone who's watching,
I don't be sad
idea.
because I'm the one who edits this, and I don't want my computer to just burn.
Yes, we're going to be playing Jackbox and some other things, like Mike's got that other things just hanging out. If you want to join in on that afterwards, go right ahead. Stay right by this channel. It'll be another video starting right up because I've already got the video ready to go. All right, Bree, where can everybody find you?
At crazylemur.bsky social for most instances. Lemurs Rule 1 on Instagram. Or, hey, if you want to get super close and personal, you can always ping me on Discord.
How'd you say pay you on Discord?
No,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm not, Brock.
Kiona, go ahead.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Neoplasmic24, also on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81, on Blue Sky and Twitch at Neoplasmic, and if you want to listen to the podcast, just search for The Meltdown with Neoplasmic on Spotify, and you will find it.
Absolutely. Mike, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organite Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. And if you're into cosplay and such things like that, you can find me on my Instagram. Until next time, we will see you all later.
Bye.
Yes.